Selamat pagi teman-teman. Good morning. Excited for today? Who is excited for today? Me only one, oh my God, because we all are here, Mr. Nico, and I am Dora, my name. Miss Dora, we are from Binus Global. Have you heard of Binus Global? Yes or no? Who have heard about Binus Global? Wow, we have to do our campaign. Victoria, please help us with the campaign of Binus Global. So, yes, we are excited because today until Monday we will have what we call Binus Festival. So, this is a series that we want to enrich you. We want to give the significant exposure for you on internationalization. So today we are having a very distinguished speaker. Before I introduce him, I want to ask, who likes to go for holiday here? Huh? Raise your hand up, very up. Who likes to go for holiday? Who likes to go to the beach? No? Wow! So, do you know the topic of the speaker this morning? No? Anyone knows the topic of the speaker today? It is very... Hello? Please be quiet. We will not start until you have your time to chat with your friends outside the class. Anyone still want to chat? On the back, please. Anyone still want to chat with the friends or discussing about gadgets, etc.? Do it outside. In here, we have distinguished speaker that is already giving his precious time. So please appreciate him and also optimize your experience during the Binus Festival. So I want to introduce briefly about the speaker today. His name is Yuri Romero. Can you guess where he is from? Canada? Okay, he will speak for himself about where he comes from. He is a consultant, educator, and speaker. His expertise is very specific. Please listen. Marine gasoil industry and minerals, maritime archaeology. Can you guess maritime archaeology? Sustainable development, because we are in this Binus Festival the topic is about sustainable development goals, and natural and cultural heritage preservation. Have any idea what is it? Yes. Okay, so this is the right time for you to listen very well. And environmental education. I mentioned about who likes to go to the beach, who likes to have some vacation holiday, who likes to go to the mountain, who likes to go to museum. Well, it's not that popular museum, but I hope we do hope after this session you will be having a more sense, a good sense, and very critical about our environment as well our natural and cultural heritage. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Yuri Romero. Please.
Good morning. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for coming. And thanks first of all to Binus University, Dora, and teman-teman. I am very happy to be here. We can speak campur juga. Bahasa saya masih kurang tapi bisa. But let's talk in English because it's the technical language I will need to brief in my presentation. So, my name is Yuri. I am from Cuba, America Latin. Who knows about Cuba? you know about Cuba? Let me guess. Mafia, drugs. That's not true, man. No, there is a lot of Chelita, by the way, which are not telling true. Cuba is an island which is more or less the same size of Java Island in the Caribbean Sea. Weather pretty much like here as well, tropical humid, a little bit less hot there, it is too hot. And we are very nice people, Caribbean, Latin American, you will see by yourself. And yeah, let's talk about the event today. I'm very happy to be here. And I would like to share with you, and when I said share, this is a huge share. I mean, I don't want to talk just in one direction. We will change later on. I want to have a lot of talking because I want to see the way you think about what I'm going to bring. I used to work a lot with the youth. I used to work a lot with the children in environmental education because I do believe it is one of the most serious issues we need to get focused today if we want to change the world. And I think we have to. Things are not going well. We have a lot of problems about the environment, and the only way to improve that is changing our mindset. And I'm sorry for you guys, you came to the war and you got the problem already, it's not your fault. But you have to help to fix it, otherwise you're going to suffer as well, right? So let's start. You see my field of my domain of work is quite wide. I started long ago. I want to ask first, how old do you think I am? Tell me, who's it? Oh, that's so cool, man. I was expecting less. You're right, I'm 52. I was trying to impress somebody. You didn't give me the chance to impress anybody here. Yeah, I'm 52 years old, and when I said that is because I have spent my entire professional life, although I am not a Orang Cantor, I am not a building guy, I am not a city guy, I am getting struggled to survive in Jakarta since 2012 when I decided to become a consultant and educator, because my whole life I've been in the wild, I've been working off city, off grid, and offshore. So that's So I want to share a little bit about myself, not because I want to impress anybody. I already didn't succeed with the issue of the age. But I want to talk a little bit about myself because it's important when we are listening to people which have had certain experience in life, when I bring your own experience in a different way. I mean, if I said to you I have spent more than 30 years in the sea, so I'm sure that you will believe when I'm going to talk about the sea, that's right? Because my whole life I've been working offshore as firstly as an environmentalist, later as an archaeologist, and later on as a heritage preservation. Yeah? So I started too early when no, you were 6 yet. I think not even your parents haven't met before. I got graduated in my first degree in 1988. And I started to work offshore. Since this moment till today, I have a lot of experience in more than 7 countries, working in 5 continents, all the ocean around. So I am very, very well connected with the natural environment, especially in the marine context. So what brings me today here is to talk within the space of this Binus Festival, which I believe is a beautiful initiative from the board of directors in the university for you guys to have opportunities like this to interact with persons like me who can change experience. Yeah. So let's talk about the issue. We are living today in the dark era of humankind. And why I would say so? I mean, perhaps in this daily life you don't witness, you don't notice, you don't realize how bad things are out there. But I'm going to tell you that are bad. I mean, situations at the global level today are really bad when we talk about climate change. Climate change are going seriously by some people do not believe that yet. Might be some problem in the brain, I think, but it's really serious issue, and it's tangible, and it's easy to suffer, and we should be ready, not just to change the paradigm in the future, but to manage the way we're gonna live under this condition, right? I don't want to create any paranoia, but we really have to take serious the subject of climate change. So biggest issues are climate change effect and hazard, which is if you are used to getting news, or perhaps if you are walking around, the weather is changing. The weather is getting more hot, it's getting more stormy. There is no more the seasonal behavior. For example, Jakarta today is already raining when it's not normally raining at the time. Rainy season in Jakarta is about starting in January. So we are already in rainy season. I mean, there is a behavioral alarming situation with the weather, which is really impacting our life in agriculture, in other things that are going to trade the future. So food security and water scarcity is one of the things that climate change is going to touch directly. Because if it's getting hottest, we cannot grow the food we are growing today because there is certain crops, certain veggies and certain fruit and things that are not growing easily when there is a 2 more degrees, as we are expecting to have in this century. 2 more degrees above the standard we have today. So when it's too hot, we cannot grow that much food. Because what happens normally in the natural environment of plants and animals get adapted. But because the process is so fast, so speedy, those plants and animals will not get enough of time to be adapted. So they will not survive, including us. So sea level rising is really touching me because of obvious reasons. I have been living in the sea the last 30 years, and because I decided to live in Indonesia. My family is Indonesia, my son, my wife, they are Indonesia, I am Indonesia. So it is the biggest archipelago on Earth. You know how many islands is in Indonesia, right? More than 13,000 islands. And more of those thousands are very tiny, small islands, which we call low-lying islands. That means they don't rise above sea level too much. They are 2 or 1 meter above sea level. It is expected by the end of the century, let's not talk about the end of the century because it's too far from me, even though for you. Let's talk about 2050. It is expected that by 2050 we're going to have 1 meter higher the baseline of the sea level. If we have this 1 meter higher, I can predict, my own calculation, that we're going to lose more than 10% of the territory of Indonesia. Because more of these tiny, small, low-lying islands will disappear. Why? Because they are low, the water is getting intrusion, they're going to erode the beach, and it will be the process of decay of the island and will disappear. And we are not thinking that serious about that. If you see investment, if you see economy in Indonesia, we are still investing a lot in those tiny islands without to prevent urban development, without to prevent the kind of design which is sweet to tackle those problems. So we should get more serious the problem. That's the sea level rising, which is a serious issue, and we should think seriously about that. Tomorrow you're going to be graduated. Tomorrow you're going to have your own business, or you're going to work for somebody. Maybe it's related to the issue. Maybe you can start to think today how you can design to contribute to have a better impact in this tomorrow business that you are expecting to have, right? Population growth and urbanization is obvious. The same 2050, we are expecting to have 2 more billion on Earth. We are around 7.5 billion today. We are expecting to have roughly 9 billion in 2050. So we have more people on Earth. We will have trouble with the food and the water. So it's not really much of the things, you see. We are getting in trouble. And Because of all the factors of population growth, urbanization, mismanagement, whatever, we are increasing pollution. So again, we play in the circle of related events. Pollution is increasing. So how we got here? And that's what I want to talk for you, because once again, you didn't create the problem directly, but you are living within the problem. So you have to understand. That's why it's important, for instance, to learn history. I know you guys are lazy to learn history, especially when it's a history about our country and things like that. But you know why it's important to learn history? Because by learning history, you can understand better the present, and you can even predict the future. And that's the same thing here. It is about history. We will talk about why, what happened, what we did wrong to get in this very bad condition today. Yeah? So, to answer the question, I want to make a very flash input about what an ecosystem is. I don't want to make you guys a title with environmental science here. It's not properly equated, but I want you to understand that what we said, or what we mentioned, ecosystem, we are nailing this word. It is the ID of an ecosystem, interdependence. Ecosystem actually is about interconnection, interdependence, and regeneration. So, but interdependence is the iconic one. There is no ecosystem where people are not interdependent one another. And that's the point that we have missed. And that's the point that we don't want to realize. We need one another, no matter how good you are. So that's the same in ecosystem. Ecosystem, for example, in a marine ecosystem, people say, I want to be the shark. Yeah, the ecosystem is not just about shark. And the shark, by the way, is not a boss. It's just a shark. And the shark is nothing if there is not a chain of food. A chain of food which is starting in the phytoplankton, which is a very microscopic guy, which is, by the way, the one who produces the most amount of oxygen in the world, and the one who starts to feed the chain of food. If there is no phytoplankton, there is no small fish. There is not a small fish, there is no bigger one. There is no bigger one, the shark is quasi. It cannot eat. So you see, it is interdependence. If there is no shark, what is the function of the shark? The function of predators. If there is no predator in the ecosystem, animals become lazy, older, sick. So predator is the one who is hitting them to improve it genetically. Yeah? If there is no lion in the savannah of Africa, today we will have less zebras. Because zebras are getting older, the reproduction cycle is increasing, and they are not hyperactive as they have to be because the lion are chasing them. So that's the function of the predator, and that's the function of the ecosystem. That's what is interdependence. So human ecosystem approach is the problem itself. We have get this point, we have get that path, because we haven't managed to do a proper human ecosystem approach. What is human ecosystem approach? It's our relationship with the environment. It's the package of strategies we use to interact with the environment. No matter what you do in life tomorrow, you will need to have the proper human ecosystem approach in order to have a good impact in life. If you set a business about farming and you are not doing a proper human ecosystem approach, where you're going to get rich probably, but your impact is going to be very negative in society. Right? So human ecosystem approach is about governance, it's about management. Yeah? Why we got? Well, mismanagement of our natural agricultural resources, that's obvious. I mean, that's what happened. That is what happened today. That's what we want to change. That's what I teach about environmental sustainability. We have to change. I mean, I am not telling you guys to stop doing business or to stop doing what you dream to do tomorrow. You can do whatever you want as long as you connect. You have to connect and you have to understand that it is real. So, fast economic growth, instant economic Yeah, mismanagement of the resources. We are taking a lot, and we are not considering that we are working with the not unlimited resources, they are limited. The fast economic growth, instant sustainable economic development, and I want to talk later on about what is to be sustainable. And consumerism. Consumerism actually is playing in the both sides. Consumerism, in this case, is cause and is effect as well. It's pretty much related to the other two. We live in a society which is very highly consumerist, and you will notice, if you take a critical look to yourself, you will see how consumerism is working in you. I'm sure that 60–70% of the stuff you own today you don't need it. But it's just because of the trend of the market. It's just because of the flow of consumerism. Make you believe, make us believe that we need to buy more. That is consumerism. So when you think in that way, when you have the proper human ecosystem approach, you start to think with the ego in front. So you go from ecological to ecological. You are breaking this rule, and then you will face the problem we are facing today. It is pretty much what is anthropocentrism. I mean, we are designing our life, we are taking decisions based on that we are the first, the unique, and the best. And it is totally wrong. Yeah? So why? Well, it is basically a problem of rate. What happened, the ecosystem provides us with services. The services of the ecosystem you can see. Provisioning, regulating, cultural and supporting. Provisioning is about food, water, is what we take, farms, the water from the banana, the fishing, all the natural resources that we are taking from nature, right? That's a provision. The regulating is weather, is pollination. If we don't have pollination, we don't have food. And who is in charge about the pollination? Bees and other insects. And they are dying because it's getting too hot. You see how everything is connected, right? The other one is cultural. It is a healing, because we are animal. We are the human animal. And we need nature, even though we live in urban spaces. And we like to go out because the spaces to enjoy. That's the cultural impact. That's why we pay for tourism. That's why we go to Bali. That's why, right? And there is the support. The supporting is the one which is connected with the other services, which are feedback the other one. What happened here is that we are taking much more than what the ecosystem can produce. I can sample you fisheries. If we go fishing, I mean, no, I'm not talking about the fishermen from the fish, I'm talking about industrial fishing. If we are fishing the rate we are fishing today, the ecosystem doesn't have time to restore and to reproduce what we're going to need tomorrow. You know how long it takes a tuna fish to get the commercial size? A delicious tuna, you know how long it takes to get the commercial size? 25 years. 25 years. A big tuna. 25 years. If we keep fishing them before they get this size, because the demand is too high, and then there is no longer those who survive 25 years, a good fish before. So that means that we are decreasing the reproduction capacity of them. We are fishing them before they become reproductive. So they don't have time to produce babies. If they don't produce babies, there is no tuna tomorrow. So it is the same thing. You see, we are taking too much. We are not giving space and time for the ecosystem to restore, right? That's the problem in this ecosystem setting. It is about the natural resources, about the waste management is the same thing. Actually, the ecosystem has the capacity to filter our dump. We can waste, we can keep wasting as long as the ecosystem has time to manage that. What's happening is that we are going too fast. We are wasting too much. And then the ecosystem doesn't have time to filter that. And then the soil water is getting polluted, and the river is getting polluted, the sea is polluted. So it is pretty much a basic concept about what sustainable development means. It's a development that meets the need of the present without to compromise the ability for the future people to meet their needs. I mean, if you're thinking that you just want to have today and you don't care about tomorrow, okay, that's fine. But if you have a little bit of common sense, and you believe that your children and grandchildren deserve to have the same or better than what you are having today, you should consider my talk today. So sustainability is actually a transition. It's not that difficult. It's very easy to understand. It's not about a destination. It's just a path. It's just a way to get. You cannot say, I am sustainable today. It's very hard to be 100% sustainable, especially in the kind of life we live today. But we should take the path. We should start to walk into sustainability, to say, I'm getting more sustainable. That's cool. That sounds great for me. If you can say tomorrow, I'm designing my own business to be more sustainable because I want to have a better impact in society, because I want to guarantee the future of my family. That's cool. I mean, this is going from short-term thinking to long-term thinking. I mean, what we are doing today is that we want everything we want to have today. And you see that very much related in the behavior of Indonesia, especially people which are from middle low class. They really want to have money today. They don't care about tomorrow. So it's going from short-term thinking to long-term thinking, from an economy outside nature with an economy which is interacting in a proper way with nature. A linear flow of resources to a system of flow, that's what I was talking about. And the fossil fuel, of course, to clean energy. So let's talk about environmental and social justice, because when we mention, and when I teach it, when I talk about environment, people just think in trees, in the green. No, environment is everything. It's even though social issues, cultural issues, environment is everything around us. We are sharing an environment here. And within this environment there is hundreds of ecosystems, which is your body. And within your body there is more ecosystems. So we are changing this environment now. And you have to understand that when I said environment is not just related to natural environment. Okay? Okay. This is an statement of Mayor Bobby when he was a governor before to be president. In 2013, I have had the opportunity to work in a small project with him when he was governor of Jakarta. And he was so worried about the busting of the mall in Jakarta. You know, Jakarta is the city with more mall space in the world. There is about 170-something mall in Jakarta, and about 550 hectares of mall floor in Jakarta, the biggest in the world. If you want to be proud of that, I am not. And I'm going to tell you why. Jakarta should ideally have 30% of the green open space, and we have just 10%. That's why it's hard to find a park in Jakarta. You are lucky you are surrounded here in Tangerang by so much green. It's so nice, it's so early to walk around here. But in Jakarta, in the middle of the Caí, it's very hard to find a green space. It's very hard. I mean, it's unhealthy if you try to have a walk in Jakarta at any time because of the lack of free and green spaces. So if you compare, you say, okay, we have more, but we don't have trees. We don't have green space. So, which is better? There is no one better. Better is the balance. And we can manage that. It's up to you guys tomorrow to design a better city. Because what we are doing today is crazy. It is a very funny statement coming from this writer, Senon Mira, you know him? Yeah, I haven't read it, I would love that. There is any English version of this document? Yeah, please. I would love it, because I don't know from where he came up with this statement, but it's very funny. That Jakarta has spent 10 years of their lives in the traffic. And I don't know his source of researching, I don't know why he says that, but for me it's very appealing. I mean, I do believe that. Because traffic jam in Jakarta is insane and ridiculous the amount of time that you waste because of you have to go from A to B with this traffic. So if you want to take much attention about this issue of the city, let's get the general picture as well. I mean, why I want to bring this point? Because I really want to showcase for you that this GDP growth is not contemplating other things which are part of our awareness or well-being. We are using to measure development to talk about our progress by measuring just GDP. And it is a total mistake because Jakarta has a huge GDP per year, around 5%. It's going so fast, it's going crazy. But at the same time, you see we have a serious problem with the green space in Jakarta. And when we talk in the national level, Indonesia, also is a very impressive the GDP, but we have other social issues which are very touching for me, and I bring to consider you guys. In the same country that we are talking about this huge GDP growth, we have a child mortality which have already improved from 1990 till 2015. But even though it's already improved, every year, let's say since 2015 till this very year, are dying 147,000 children before their 5th birthday. Before to reach the age of 5. And I think it is sad when we know more that we can change that, we can prevent that. It's not a challenge, it's about design, it's about infrastructure, it's about education. So if you want to say my country is having a good development because the GDP is growing, well, it doesn't exactly mean that way. Because we are having a very fast GDP growth, but we cannot fix this serious problem. We cannot stop child labor. A lot of children come home, they are working. I said, I mean, my son is 7 years old, I don't imagine him working in the farm because to get paid. I think he's working in the farm is to have fun, to me. But not because he has to get paid to help the family. It's sad, none of you did that, right? So that's the kind of reflection. I mean, I want you to have an holistic point of view to understand that development, economic development, measured by the vector of GDP, not necessarily means that we are doing well. It means actually we have to do better. So what we can do to change the picture? What is our contribution? And that's the mission. That's why I'm here. That's why I want to change somehow the mindset of you. I would love to keep in touch tomorrow. I would love to invite you to many other of my HRI, my organization, one photo. We can go camping, we can go swimming, we can go adventuring, we can go connecting with nature, connecting with people, get out of the bubble, find out about the real life out there, and then somehow you will see that once you are graduated, once you have your own toolkit to become whatever you want to be, you also can affect positively other people around. What we can do, well, I'm just sampling this. Actually, prices are not a big. For an iPhone costs around $600. The same amount of money you can improve a social business for you in any place around Jakarta. a China bag, $5,900. These things. With this amount of money, you can make a change, believe me. You really can make a change. Xbox, cool. Everybody really love that. But with the cost of an Xbox, you actually can pay more than 10 children education in 1 year. So you see how come we can play with the numbers, right? It's just to make you understand that solution is in your hand. As long as you have the eyes to find the problem, right? But don't go blind. Build your life, do whatever you want to be, but do not ignore the picture, right? So it is, yeah, it's about to be environmentally friendly, it's about to have a good input in the community-based development, it's about to be focusing on long-term benefit. Don't be part of the problem, but of the solution. That's what we are talking about. That's what I used to do. I love to walk around all around Indonesia, working with children, with the youth, with the Comunitas Histórica Indonesia, about heritage preservation. This is about environmental education with the El Petra. You know what is El Petra? People call Tamanga Hawk. Yeah, before a hawk got in trouble, I was working with him designing an environmental education program for the El Petra, because for me it's a huge opportunity. It's very good that we are having kind of community center in every hand, and it's a good opportunity to educate people widely there. And yeah, I work with anybody who asking me to help, because I love to get engaged and to understand the problem, to find the solution. And that's why I want to bring here. Please pay attention about what we have been talking. I would love to have a good exchange with you now. Ask me whatever you want, as much as you want, as long as it is time. Let's open our mind, let's get out of the comfort zone to make a reflection about what we have seen here. Economic development is not exactly development. Development is about well-being, it's about wellness. And wellness is about to be healthy, happy, and be secure. It's not about to have 3 cars, 5 houses, and millions of dollars in your bank account, right? So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it.
About the sea, about do you know what you can do to be environmentally friendly?
Actually, if it's about question, I want to have the first question, if you don't mind.
Yeah?
Instead, you guys ask me the first question, I will answer the first question.
Okay. So.
Okay. The first question is coming from me. First question is coming from me to you.
Okay.
Who wants to be rich here? Come on. Who wants to be rich? That's good. That's good. Okay, you're closer. Tell me why you want to be rich. You just want to be rich, that's all right. To make your family happy, I'm proud of you. That's good. Other opinion? Some of the rich dreamer. There is a girl over there. Why do you want to be rich? Yeah, you said you want to be rich, right? Okay. Any other comment about those who wants to be rich? You don't want to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I'm fine with that. I'm fine as well with people who want to be rich. What I want to bring now is a reflection what you want. What you want. You don't have to be rich to do that. You don't have to be rich to make proud your family. You don't have to be rich to bring a good investment. Because by the way, being rich is very hard. It's not that easy. How many rich people you know? How many millionaires are out there? Very few of them. And they have been working so hard, so tough to make those millions. And they are working even harder to keep that. So what we are talking, and the reason I have lunch, the question is that don't let wrong the meaning of life. Wellness, happiness, many people around of you do not mean that you have to be rich. Because the same amount of time and energy you will spend to pursue that will make you unhappy. You know what your parents want? They want to see you happy. Your parents want to see you happy, and they believe that you have to succeed in life. And you have to make them believe that you can succeed in life without being a billionaire, without to be rich. As long as you do what you love to do, and you help others. So now it's your time. Ask me, please. Who wants to ask? Who wants to talk? Let's talk about anything. No, not about gadgets. I don't want to talk about gadgets. No question? Okay, please.
What's actually the main issue about cars that we think we need?
Well, there is not that many issues. Sorry, there is many of them. Well, in my personal opinion, as I said before, I'm very concerned about the sea level rising. There is an issue that I don't see yet. Government, neither NGOs working that serious to transmitting people, to relocating families. There is a huge amount of families which are living in these small islands. And at any time they are at risk. Because what happened with the sea level rising is that it doesn't mean that the sea will rise from today to tomorrow, but as long as it's increasing the sea level, every time there is a stormy weather, the surge, the waves are getting more violently into the space of the island. So I don't see yet a proper governance to tackle this challenge. Sea level rising is a serious issue. Pollution is another serious issue. In urban space, for example, I was sampling a little bit this ironic, sarcastic approach about the amount of mall versus the amount of green open space. Because it is true. I mean, we have roughly the park of car between Great Jakarta and Jakarta is about 31 million vehicles between cars, motorbikes, trucks, etc. 31 million. In this space, it's the same amount that 5 countries in Africa are having together. In just the capital city of the country. And 70% of the pollution, the air pollution, is coming from those cars. So we have many issues about the environment. Is it okay? Do you want me to talk more? Is it enough? One question, please. Let me talk more. Let me know about what do you think. What do you think you can do tomorrow about to change the picture? You are talking. Yeah. Tell me what do you believe? Tell me what are you planning to do tomorrow? Can you just tell me what? I mean, what did you study here in Binus? So what are you planning to do when you get to go to a bank? To have your own bank?
After I study secondary, I want to be a tax controller. Yeah.
Do you think about consulting in a proper way? If you keep the things we were talking today here, if you keep this information, this experience we are sharing now, if you keep it inside you, I'm sure that even though you are an accounting consultant, somehow you're gonna contribute, you're gonna twist a little bit, not just by having the perspective of an accountant, but by having more holistic perspective. Because you will realize from now on that whatever you will do tomorrow will affect positive or negative your environment, right? So that's what I want to bring.
So we have several questions.
Oh, okay, good.
This is the one we want to. First is how to give impact to others. How your opinion about the young millennials, how they can contribute significantly, and also there are various questions about the government programs regarding global warming.
So I will go to give the impact to others, right? Then let's talk about impact. And to talk about impact, I have again my answer is a question. How many times during this year, which is about to end, how many times you guys have been outdoor, beach, mountain, woods, camping? How many times? Raise your hand. Who of you went camping this year? Somebody there? There is somebody who went camping this year? Camping, expedition, hiking, swimming, diving? None of you. None of you. None of you have to spend time outdoor. None of you have to spend time in nature during the whole year. You did. Okay. How many times? This year. Once in Bali this year. Somebody else spent time? You did. A lot of time. Great. Keep doing that, please. So that's what I mean. Me, Ibudora, people who educate, people from the government are expecting the youth to be the agent of change. Well, how come you guys can be the agent of change when you don't understand? When you don't feel connected? I'm sure that when you went out, what did you do when you understand that you went out? How was the experience? Bali. What you did there, diving, swimming, beach? Share on the beach. And you saw the sampa there? A lot of sampa. It is a serious issue with the sampa, solid waste in Indonesia, especially in Bali. But I'm sure you experienced that. You had a good time, but at the same time you have to choke it directly of the plastic. Damn, I can't change that. I can't change. How come I can't change that? Well, just like this. I have my own. Just like this. I mean, when you start to connect, when you start to interact, when you start to exercise, you start to change your mindset. We are living in a capsule. You guys are living in a capsule, and that's what I want to change. You have to enhance your environment. You have to experience other things. It's not that hard, it's not that difficult to plan between friend and experience. And if you think it's busy, it's difficult, just follow me and I will show you how easy it is to set up an expedition to go nearby Jakarta to have a good time, to camping, sit down around the fireplace and just storytelling, you know. And that's important because that's the way that we can build character. That's the way that we have capacity to understand environmental issues. You cannot understand them, you cannot change the picture if you are not connected. You cannot understand how important are trees if you don't go nearby the trees. So that's what I want to change. It's important to have an impact, to start by yourself, experience yourself, intake it, enjoy it, and let it on spread out. You have to witness that. Come with me next time. Pulau Seribu, Pulau Bali. I used to do a lot of acara in Pulau Bali. Pulau Seribu is easy. It's 1 day trip. You can have a weekend as well if you want. But at least you can go to this beautiful island, and in this beautiful island you will see also a lot of sampa, a lot of problems. So it is the contrast. That's the way we learn, by contrast. Okay, what is the next question? Yeah, how are your opinion about the new millennial generation? Well, somehow we are talking about change the mindset by changing behavior, by being more connected. So one of the things I would love the young millennial to do is to use more technology in the proper way. You are the generation of the technology, but technology is drilling you, is drilling you out. Let's talk briefly about social media. We have a huge platform of communication, which is social media, to make an impact. But we are wasting that. We are just costing our own self. I mean, capitalism and liberalism have teach us to be so self. And everything is, every perspective is about self. And you can use the same space, you can use the same platform, you can use the same technology to share other stuff, to share interesting things, to create a forum, to discuss something, to learn about history, because we know that it's important to learn about history, to be updated about real issues in environment. So use technology in the proper way, manage your time, don't get trapped in your gadget. Use it as a tool, but don't let the gadget own your life. That's what I want to say. Don't let the gadget own your life. Use it. It is the purpose of these things, is to be useful. Use it to learn, to be better, but not to become an extension of that. Next question. Ariane. Global warming prevention and actually has a high to which company? Well, actually, Ariane is not here, right? She is online. Okay. Yeah, Ariane is, Indonesia is one of the best case studies about global warming. Because by the way, Indonesia is in the spot of the world who is getting more hot and faster, which is the triangle of Asian countries, Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. This triangle happened to be the hottest spot on Earth, and the one who's going to start to suffer the first, the impact of climate change. So Indonesia is very good to sampling, it's very good to showcase the problem with climate change and the consequences this is generating. In my own experience, I can tell you that more of the sites have been diving lately in Pulau Seribu. There is already coral bleaching. Coral bleaching means that the coral is getting white because the coral is dying. And the coral is dying because of acidification of the water. And the water is getting acid because it's getting too hot. So, hot, acidification, coral dying. Coral dying means less shelter for fish, less ecosystem support to growing food. So it is serious. And Australia, which is a great reef barrier in Australia, is having more than 25% of the entire barrier already getting bleaching. So it's serious. I mean, global warming is a very sad situation. It's actually out of reach to fix it. Just like this, I'm trying to educate, I'm trying to motivate you guys to think differently, to approach ecosystem differently. But whatever we do today will not change into the solution that fast. What we can do by changing ourselves is to prevent that the problem is getting bigger and to guarantee that ecosystem will have time to regenerate. Because remember, they always will do it. They have the capacity to do that, but it just needs time. So that's the contribution we can. Okay. Yeah, let me answer Qatar as well, and we can keep flowing. And remember, I want to listen more you guys, please. Sorry, I came here to discuss, I just speak by myself. I want to listen to you as well. It is the same thing. I mean, when we talk about environment and what we can do, it's a problem. The biggest problem is connection. We are not connected. We have a very much will. I mean, when we talk about that, everybody knows. If I ask you guys in the street, people say, yeah, we have a problem of pollution. Yeah. Everybody knows. Everybody says word. There is a lot of awareness. What you are doing to change that? So you see there is a gap. A gap between the will and the action. And that's what I'm trying to pass in today. Let's take action from where you are. You don't have to go out now and become an MP. No, from where you are, in your daily life. What are you doing? I have this, like a factory setting in my mind. Of course, I have been out there 30 years, I have so much connection, I have so much engagement, and my level of commitment is so high. But you can develop that the more you exercise. That's why it's important to exercise, to connect. To go outdoor, to go to the beach, to go to the mountain, to visit on a Cancun, to talk to the people in the street. If you go to the cinema and you watch a movie about Anak. Yeah, there was one playing not long ago, and I remember I saw a lot of people crying because it was a sad movie about Anak. But the same people who was crying inside the theater, they came out and they saw the Anak Jalanan in the street and they didn't saw it. It was like a transparent. So they are empathizing with the movie, but they are not empathizing with reality. And that just shows the lack of connection we have. We are too much connected through gadgets, through media, but not through interaction. And if we go again, the ecosystem is interaction. And then when you interact, you will see that you are interdependent. So, actions are simpler from where you are as long as you understand that your action counts. Your action can make a change. Water, I always bring my water. I have said the water from Tutora, but I always bring my tumbler with me. And I always ask for refill. If I'm going to the restaurant, I will order what I want to eat. No more than that, because I hate to waste food. Because I know how hunger looks. I was working in Africa, and I saw them dying in the street without what to eat. So it touched me so deep. Nobody has to explain again how important food is. So every grain of rice, I will finish. I will not waste food. So once again, you experience, you get connected, you are improving your mindset. So if you are improving your mindset, you will lead the change. But you cannot lead any change if you don't change yourself. Self-consciousness. Self-consciousness development through the exercise of empathy. I have a program which is called Universal Empathy. I will invite you guys to join in the future. Some question from the people here? Somebody asked, come on, let's talk, man. Yeah, again, we have been touching many things which are already connected. I was mentioning about the proper use of technology and social media. Come on, brother, don't tell me that you don't know. Just Google. It's easy to find solutions, it's easy to find something, how many things you can do. And I can tell you. That's the struggling part. As long as you believe it, it will keep pushing. You know what is the biggest issue in Jakarta traffic jam? It's not the amount of cars. Well, it is, of course, it's part of the problem. But it's the behavior, the driver. Because everybody's pushing. Nobody wants to take the line, nobody wants to wait. Nobody wants to collaborate. And when you collaborate, it's because you have a collective intelligence. When you don't have a collective intelligence, you will behave as people used to behave in the street. Nobody cares one another. I just want to push to go first, and at the end, I'm last. So you see how important it is to work together. As long as you believe that that's the way. And once again, use technology. Find information coming from the good source. Check your source of information. Briefing you what you can do. Once you set your action, you have to be a struggle. Because the trends are don't follow you. Perhaps the first 3 days people will support you. Okay, let's make a waste management plan for my classroom. Hey guys, no more plastic water from today on. And any other snack or whatever. There is many solutions as long as you work together. I have to exercise like this many times. I used to do that. Snacking together. Snacking together, I can something you can bring 10 small package of Cheetos or one big package of Cheetos. Who is producing more samba? And then when you open the big package of Cheetos, you can share with your friends. And you reduce the amount of samba. It's just about design, it's just about to have the will, but to reach the action. Because once again, we have one of us will have good will, but we are not getting into the action. Yep. Have you ever met someone who doesn't believe? Yeah, I have had an experience. I will not say, I will not mention the campus or whatever, not even the person. But in this kind of activity, there was a student who was asking me, is that really matter? We cannot change things. It's coming anyway, the global warming, it's already there. I don't think we can do anything. Is that really matter? And I tell you, yeah. It is really matter. Because even though you cannot save the situation today, we need to change the mindset to don't keep doing the same thing. I mean, it doesn't mean that now you will be an avenger to save the world. It means that you need to change the mindset, because that's what I was talking before. All we have done since industrialization till today is wrong. We can do better than that. We can pursue wellness and well-being without being greedy, without being ignorant. So there is no conflict. You can have money. You can have your own business. You can build up your own dream. But please pay attention to what we are talking. You cannot be isolated because you are part of the whole. So it's basically to understand the root of functioning in an ecosystem and to behave according to an ecosystem mechanism. Basically that. Yeah, I love to talk about empathy because it's, once again, it's one of my biggest advocacy since more of our problem are rooted in the lack of connection, and the connection is provided by empathy. You know what empathy is? Who can say what empathy is? You guys behind there are so out of my talk. I want to bring you guys in. There is somebody there who knows what empathy means. Somebody which is not too much asleep to talk to me. Nobody knows what empathy means. Do you know what empathy means? Tell me.
The ability to relate with other people's feelings and experiences.
Pretty much like that. When we talk about empathy, we use the set. It's to take the shoes of the other. It's to wear the shoes of the other. It's to see through the perspective of the other. Is to feel the problem of the other. Not with the aim of fixing, just to feel it, which is important enough for you to start to change your mindset. So when you empathize, you start to figure out that you are not alone in the world. That there is more other people around you which bigger problem perhaps than you have. I used to do that a lot. My son, 7 years old, and when he was smaller, he didn't know to explain what Papa is doing for a living. So when people asked him, what is doing your father? What is his job? I am not sure, but he just loves to help people. And for me it was very cute, very nice coming from him, you know. Being 5 years old, saying that daddy would love to help people. I become suddenly his superhero. And it's because of his witnessing. Because every time we walk together, instead me to be overprotective, I used to expose him to the face. We have a lot of teman-teman to come to bloom. The people sorting the Santa, right? To come to bloom. The people sorting Santa. We have friends in my neighborhood there to come to bloom. There is a daddy, mommy, and a baby girl, which is same age than Luis, my son. When we saw them, yeah, it's not a nice picture. You know how they look. And they are dirty, they are smelly. And then I decided to talk to them, just to empathize. I cannot fix the problem just like this. But what I did, spending 1 hour talking to them, sitting in the corner of the park, what I did automatically changed their life. You know why? Because they got listen, they got attention. They used to be transparent. And I just sit with them, I just empathize with them, I just listen to their problem without promising anything in the solution, just to listen to them. And that was the biggest expectation of them. It was fair enough for them to say, we do exist. We count as well. We do exist. And let's face it, they are our friends today. And Luis every month collects his stuff that since he's not using to give to Ruthie, the baby girl. And they are friends and they play together. 2 different classes, 2 different style of life, 2 different perspectives. We cannot change automatically their life, but we can let them know that we are here to help. And to help and to guide them in a better condition. That's what empathy is. And we are so much lack of empathy. We are so much isolated because we spend so much time in gadgets, because we spend so much time in our circle of interests, because we are not eager to go out of our comfort zone, because we are ignoring actually how important this is. So try to get out of our comfort zone, try to empathize with those people which are not from your circle. Sit down with them, listen to them, and you will learn a lot about them.
What is the advantage for ourselves to be empathic? To be concerned and less ignorant to the environment? What is the advantage for ourselves?
You just said to be less ignorant is the first step forward.
Yes, but what is the benefit for us? Maybe you will become better.
Yeah, the benefit for us is just change. Benefit for us is basically changing the paradigm, changing our perspective of life, changing our perspective of wellness. You see, when I launched the question, who wants to be rich? And do you think I do change a little bit your perception about to be rich? I did. I'm happy for that. I'm very happy. Now you know that you don't need to be rich to make happy your family and to pursue your dreams. Because by the way, you will waste a lot of time in your time. So try to be yourself with a good impact for society, and your family will be proud of you. First of all, because you're going to be happy doing that. So that's the benefit. Change yourself to change others. We are already convinced that we need to change the picture. We cannot keep doing that way. We need to do something to restore. We need to do something to get engaged in solution. But to do that, you need to change first here. Self-consciousness development is the first step into the collective intelligence. And collective intelligence is necessary to live in community. That's from where we are coming. We are actually the most social animal from the animal kingdom, right? And we succeed because we start working together. And because we start working together, we develop language, right? Because at the beginning of the course, so they start to do more activities, and then I have to say so I have to develop language. When we develop language, we improve communication. When we improve communication, we say, okay, we are ready to settle in one place. We don't need to be nomadic. And then we made the first agricultural revolution 12,000 years ago, and we started to domesticate animals and plants. These capacities we have here is named consciousness. And it's like a sponge. It's like a muscle in the body. You can train it. You can train consciousness. You can make the consciousness work out. Empathy is kind of workout for consciousness. So I hope I answered. There is another question. If you have time, we don't have much time. More questions? Somebody want to say something, please? Yeah, please.
What are the problems that you concern the most? The problem that you concern the most, like the global warming and the other things like famine and other things like that. What's the problem that you really concern the most?
You. That's my biggest concern. I mean, global warming is the hub. Global warming is the hub of problem. No, we are the one who created it. Let me tell you, global warming is coming from the beginning of Earth. It's actually an evolutionary process. It's actually a natural evolutionary process. Global warming, but not anthropogenic global warming. And the problem we are having today is anthropogenic. That means it's created for humans. So my biggest concern is us. If we don't change, things cannot change. So we need to start to change ourselves, to reflect solutions, to take action, to become from having a good will to deliver a good action. That's my biggest concern. Another Kinga. Oh, yeah. The empathy here, I like that.
Speaking social issues, I want to ask about your opinion whether if there is something wrong with the education system in Indonesia, or if there's anything that the government should act. Thank you very much.
You want me to get in trouble here? Yeah, there is an issue with education. There is an issue with education, and perhaps I am not the best person to talk about that, since I am what they call non-formal or informal education. But there is a serious problem with education, not just in Indonesia, worldwide. When people are considering seriously to change the system, because education is part of what we are today. And if we have bring with us all those problems we were talking about, I mean that didn't work as we expect. I mean, we were bad educated, right? So we are really considering to change education and to have a different approach, which is more, let's say, like I used to do in my environmental education program, more project-based education, more experiential education, and less concerning about academic. Academic gonna be there, we need academic, but what happens is that we are just making priority in academic, and we are decreasing the person to educating other things. Like our children, when my son is going out of the school next year, first because I don't want to kill my wife, and secondly because I don't want to see him more sad. I mean, I'm having a lot of trouble at home because of my son's school. Because the school are asking too much, and he's struggling with the content of the curriculum. A lot of homework, a lot of things to do, and he's 7 years old. And he's not happy. And mommy believes that this is the proper way. Daddy do not. So we are planning to change his education for next year in order to give him something more flexible and more effective for him to learn. Once again, I'm criticizing the system, not any particular school, not any particular individual. I'm criticizing a system which is too much concerning in academic issues, but they are not concerned about environmental education, they are not concerned about physical education, they are not concerned about cultural education. And once again, we cannot talk about heritage preservation in Indonesia. You know, when I came to Indonesia in 2007, I couldn't believe I'm here. I was studying about Indonesia a lot during my college time. And now, in the most biggest field I have developed in my professional life, which is environment and which is historical anthropology. Both of them, I was studying Indonesia, because Indonesia is the mecca of the diversity, natural and cultural diversity. But we are not taking care of that, because you don't know what you have. If you don't know what you have, you are not having the sense of belonging. You are not connected. And children and youth in the school, you are not having much of those stuff. You have more academic, nobody's talking about what you have at home, the beauty in your backyard. So one of the youth in Indonesia, they do not appreciate the national heritage, they are not connected with their historical roots because they are not witnesses about that. So I think it's an hour or more. I love to talk, but if you want me to keep talking, I can keep talking. Yeah, no problem. Masih lama lagi. You need to stand there the whole talking, you know, but when you're standing up there, Somebody want to express what you got from the talking? Somebody want to say that you have new ideas, you clarify something, or you just understand it now, or you just want to do nothing? I want to listen to some opinion. You, please, do you want to say something? What do you learn? What do you got?
Hi everyone. I think from this seminar I learned that environmental issues are really important, and it's true that economic development is not the real development. The real development is the education, environmental and social issues, and I totally agree with you that I think us as a young generation, we don't really care about our surroundings because we don't have connections. And I'm really sad, honestly I'm really sad that I think half of this class is not listening to you, but I think that this is like a really important issues, and this is like a real issues around us. But for me, young generations does not really care. And for me, you're right, we don't have connections with the environment at all, and it's how we have to change our mindset in order to change the environment, to have a better life. I think that's what I get from today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
I deeply appreciate your work. I deeply appreciate and respect your work because it's very honest. I don't even care about many of you didn't pay attention full time about my talk. I know sometimes it's both ends, sometimes it's whatever. Yeah, as long as you got it, a few of you got it, I know we can spread out. And that's important. You know, they say in psychology that it's easier to spread out a negative experience. It's going faster. For example, if you go to a restaurant and you said you didn't were happy with the food, you will go out and you will talk about that without people to ask you. So you are spreading out very easy or very fast the negative experience. Otherwise, the positive experience is not that fast, but deep. So when you talk with somebody else, no matter it's one, just one, you will not talk much, but you will say, it really touched me. I do believe that, and I want to do something about it. And that's important. That's enough. Someone else wants to say about what they got, the feeling, the experience, any idea? Do you want to make a change or not? Who want to make a change? Who wants to make a change? Who believes we need to make a change? Yes. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I do love to work with people who believe we can make a change. And I want to invite you all to follow the page of Mount Forum, the Human and Nature Forum, my organization, Facebook page, and you will see there flyers and information about expedition and field trips and things. Please feel free to contact and to participate, or just learn certain basic knowledge from that page, and then you can experiment your own group. You can create your own group. You can create your own circle to go doing action out there. And you know the most important thing is when you go to have fun. When you go to have fun, and then the positive delivery is actually inconsistent. As long as you are having fun. I don't want to torture you to go with me tomorrow to El Petra. I have a panel project in El Petra, Asunta Yaya, to see problems with the special needs children, working with special needs children, because I love inclusion. I will not ask you that because it's tough, it's sad, it's not nice, but we can start by having fun. We can start by going to Pulau Pai, going to Sentul, going to For home puncak, there is a lot of Pakistan tradition. Join one forum, create your own forum, create your own group, and start to experience. Start to get in touch with reality of the escape for a while from your capsule. Okay? Thank you very much to all of you.
So you got the information about the Facebook. What is the name of the ID in the Facebook, the account? Main forum. So please do follow. So by doing that also you can increase your awareness on environment continuously. Okay, for the closing, I would like to invite our head of program on international business management. As you mentioned, it's not just engineering, but business also need to have the huge concern on environment. So Ms. Lim Sani is our head of the program and will share a total of appreciation. So please come to open it book. So this is the yes. Okay, there's appreciation from Binus University.